Are we living in a simulation? Can women successfully park their cars? How many days could you survive without a heart? Find out tonight on the puzzling peculiarity that is Nothing News. We begin tonight with a segment we like to call Strange Heroes. This odd scene unfolded in a small town in Oregon when a man stole a woman's bicycle. Her cries for help were quickly responded to by none other than Robert Borba, or as we like to call him, Cowboy. He leapt onto his horse and pursued the kleptomaniac with determination that the Justice League would be proud of. The man realized his error, abandoned the bike, apparently to run away faster. Right. But not before Robert Cowboy Borba successfully lassoed the perpetrator. Woohoo! I love it when the hero wins. Every time. In every movie. Ever. The man clung on to the tree for dear life until police arrived and promptly arrested him. Our last strange hero is a security guard we have aptly named the Tackler. During Game 4 of the NBA Finals, a streaker ran onto the court in a political stunt worthy of the ages. Who cares about the politics, though? Boring! We care about how our hero bursts onto the scene in truly dramatic fashion. Watch how the streaker gets absolutely lambasted by the tackler. He didn't see it coming! And can we inquire as to the identity of that object that goes flying out of his hand? His phone, you say? I say a weapon of mass destruction. Clearly the tackler saved lives. Countless lives. Where's his award for his extreme acts of heroism? Good job, the tackler. Parking lots introducing women-only spots in China have sparked outrage throughout the female community. The spots reportedly are 30% wider than a regular parking spot, and the national symbol for a woman is painted in the middle of the spot. The main reason for this decision? According to globalnews.ca, Pan Zirin, director of the service area, stated he decided to include the girls-only spaces after noticing that some female drivers were having trouble reversing into parking spots, or parking carelessly. We spoke to a local woman who stated, quote, "As long as the spots are closer to the store, I'm game," end quote. Have a need to store data? Lots of data? How about 360 terabytes of data? Not impressed yet? How about that data being good for 14 billion years? Listen, guys, I know life expectancy is going up, but I'm not sure we're quite at that level yet. The 5D storage device uses lasers to store the data in 3D quartz structures at the nanoscale. I'd like to think my grandkids will want to remember me and my many strange Facebook posts, but my great 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 grandkids. I don't think they're gonna give a one flip about the pasta sauce I screwed up for the third time this month. Then again, why would I let that stop me? Visa's new payment ring will be debuted at this year's Summer Olympics by none other than the athletes themselves and Olympic staff. The outside of the ring will be a black or white ceramic, and the inside will have a secure microchip with an embedded antenna. No batteries required, and with a simple wave of your hand, the transaction is completed. These are not the hot dogs you're looking for. Elon Musk, not just the name of a fancy cologne, but the name of a 44-year-old genius. Founder, CEO, and CTO of SpaceX, co-founder, CEO, and product architect of Tesla Motors, co-founder of PayPal. The list goes on. We have highlighted the successes of SpaceX, and today we bring up a matter of grave importance to humanity as a whole. In a recent talk at Recode's Code Conference, Musk was asked by an audience member about the simulation argument and what Musk believes about it. Here's the really basic premise. The way technology is currently advancing, it stands to reason that at some point in the future, be it 100 years or 10,000, civilization will reach a point where we can create games that are indistinguishable from reality. Given this, it further stands to reason that people in the future will want to create simulations of their ancestors to see what life was like back in our day. If you follow this logic, then the probability that we are living in base reality, in other words, the probability that we are the original civilization that will someday create these simulations is 1 in billions, as it's safe to assume that every Tom, Dick, and Harry will be creating such simulations in the future with their super-de-duper Xbox 10,000 consoles. Do you hear me, people? The odds seem to point to us living in a computer simulation. Mr. Musk thinks that this is actually better than base reality, where there is a chance civilization could reach a point where it stops advancing. He says, quote, "If civilization stops advancing, then that may be due to some calamitous event that erases civilization. Either we're going to create simulations that are indistinguishable from reality, or civilization will cease to exist." End quote. Wow. As Marty McFly would say, whoa, this is heavy. Furthermore, from a purely scientific perspective, we spoke to a local retired physics professor who agreed that after reading a Philip K. Dick story published in the 1960s about this very concept, he had long considered this as a possibility. He went on to state, quote, "I have wondered if this whole 'we're in a simulation' idea might explain why physical laws act so strangely when things get very small or very large. When you get down to the quantum mechanical level, the universe ceases to be smooth and turns grainy, and the rules of the physical universe seem to become probability distributions." Are you still with me? Almost like you're peering into the maximum resolution that the game can manage. You're seeing the pixels, and their behavior is governed by carefully chosen random number generators. And I repeat, whoa, this is heavy. Stan Larkin, a 25-year-old from Michigan, needed a heart transplant bad. But he was sitting on the donor list with no surgery date in sight. That's when doctors outfitted him with the artificial heart, Syncardia. Better yet, he was given the Freedom Portable Driver, which allowed him to go home and do mostly normal things. Amazingly, Stan lived this way for 555 days before his heart transplant surgery in May of this year, which was a complete success. Now that is pretty cool. That brings us to the end of this week's episode. Thanks to our videographer, editor, and producer, Vinnie Clark, and our one sponsor, Kramerica Industries. And also, thank you to Debbie Zielinski, who had another story selected out of millions of entries. I'm your host, Zach Ford, and this is Nothing News, reporting on everything you don't care about. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Nothing News. Check out the links in the description to our Twitter, Facebook, and WordPress pages. Subscribe. You might get a sneak peek into how our spectacular cover art was made, so click the button! Thank you all for liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing!